What's happening, guys? Oxford King here, and in this Path of Exile 2 video, I'm going to teach you how to get more Waystones. Let's get started. I wanted to start the video with this screen right here to prove to you that I do know how to sustain my maps. I even have a tier 16 map right here. Not only do I have all these maps, but check this out. I'm going to open up my guild stash, and you're going to see here I have more maps here. So yes, I do know how to sustain maps, and I want to teach you how exactly to get more maps. So the very basic way to get more maps, extremely simple, is talk to Doryani, right? And then you're going to select buy or sell items, and Doryani will sell just a few maps here. Now you can buy tier 1, 3, 4, 5, whatever's on your screen. It may be different for you. Now, in this example here, I'm going to buy up these and show you what happens. I'm going to buy a 5, a 4, and a 3. Now, I'm going to buy a tier 1, and if you notice, he's got more tier 1s. So the tier 1s are infinite. You can just keep purchasing them. I believe it's for 5,000 gold, like it says on screen. Now, if you talk to Doryani again and you open up the menu, just the tier 1s are available. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know when his inventory restocks. I don't know when that takes place. If you know, drop a comment. So the first thing that I want to walk us through is something very, very basic. We're going to take a tier 1 Waystone or map. We're going to set it right here. The first thing that you want to do is the following. We want to what we call juice it up. In the Path of Exile world, we call that juice it up. So what does that even mean? Right now, we have a normal item. So the first thing that I'm going to do, there's actually two things you can do. One, you can grab an orb of alchemy and upgrade the normal to a rare if you want to do so. I would recommend that you do not do that because alchemies are a somewhat rare resource. So when you grab them, you're going to want to use these for your higher tier maps. Just my recommendation. You don't have to do that. But what I did was the following. I would use a orb of transmutation. I would apply it. It would then upgrade the Waystone to a magic Waystone. And if you pay close attention to the second line at the top, it says Waystone drop chance 125%. We are trying to get that number up as high as possible. The next step I'm going to do is grab an orb of augmentation, and we're going to put this on. Now, if you notice, the Waystone drop chance stayed the same. However, look at the affixes here. 10% increase quantity of items found in this area and 22% increase rarity of items found in this area. Now, you can take this a step further if you have the currency. If you don't have the currency and you're lacking the currency, I would stop right here and I would run this Waystone in the Atlas and run that map. Play the map all the way to the end. Or if you have what they call regal orbs, you can actually upgrade the magic item to a rare item, just like the following right here. And now look what happens when we do this. Now it upgrades to a rare or a yellow, right, version. And look at the Waystone drop chance now, 205%. That's what we want, okay? I'm gonna show you an example of a tier 15 map. Look at this map right here. Look at the Waystone drop chance potential, 455%. I bring this up because this is what you're going to want to focus on. Get that Waystone drop chance as high as possible. Look at this number compared to what we made in 205 versus 455. Another example or a tip here to increase your Waystone drop rate is the following. These are called tablets. Now, the tablets will go inside the towers once you complete them. What does that even look like? When you open up your Atlas map here, you're going to see these towers that are scattered throughout the Atlas. They look just like this right here. Once you run that tower using a Waystone, you are then going to come back to the tower and you're going to insert a tablet that you have in your inventory. Now remember, the tablets will come either as a normal item or a magic item. Remember what I told you before. We're going to increase the value of this by simply using Orb of Transmutation and an Orb of Augmentation to get it to look like this on screen. Now, you cannot upgrade these tablets further. I'll show you. I'm going to use a Regal Orb to make it into a rare, and it won't let you. So just so you know, this is where it stops with the tablets and upgrading them. But the reason I want to talk to you about this is the following. Look what's on screen. It says 12% increased quantity of Waystones found in your maps within the radius, okay? And then another one here, 10% increased quantity of waystones found in your maps. Now, what do I mean by radius? Let me show you. So this is what I mean by radius. Do you see this tower right here? Now look at the large circle around that tower. Each one of these towers will have a circle around it once you place a tablet in that tower. And this is the radius representing all of the affected maps or waystone areas, right, being affected within the radius of the tower. This is just one example. And by the way, if you pull up your atlas and you do not see these rings, these circles, I believe there is a bug in the game where if you access your atlas in your hideout, you don't see these. But if you come to the base game map device, to this one here specifically, and you open it up, the rings will show up. So again, I don't know if it's a visual bug that only appears on this map device and not in your hideout version. I don't know. Another tip here that I want to talk to you about on getting more maps, more waystones, is look at these icons right here. In fact, let me show you something even better. If you click on Map Legend, if you look off to the left here, I'll do the best I can to zoom in on post so you can see this as well on your screen. You're going to look for an icon that says Map Boss. And the icon looks just like this right here. So what we're going to do here is you're going to find a map that has that logo right there, that map boss, that head right there. You want to run that map, clear the entire map, and kill the boss. Why? Because there's more maps when you kill the boss. If you read here, it says Vol Foundry. Look at the very bottom area of this description. It says 45% increased waystones found in area. So this is another way. So if you're running randomly, especially if you're new and you don't know where to go, where do I go? How do I get more maps? Find the boss icon and do that map, kill the boss, clear the whole map, and I guarantee you, you will get more maps. Another tip here to get more maps or waystones is walking over to this Reforging bench and pull up this screen right here. And what you're going to do is grab 3 of the same types of waystones. In this example here, and by the way, they need to be identified. It will not work if it's not identified. So make sure it is ID'd. And then simply drop 3 of the same kind. You have 3 tier 1s in this video example and hit Reforge, and it's going to upgrade to a tier 2. So if you have an overabundance of a lot of tier 1s, which I'm sure you may have, you can upgrade that to tier 2 and then tier 3 and then tier 4, so on and so forth. Another tip with the Reforging bench and the tablets here. Let's say that you have 3 tablets or you have multiple tablets and none of them say increased quantity in waystones or increased quantity of items found. Let's say none of them have what you need. Remember, just simply drop these in and reforge a brand new waystone. I happen to like these 3. I'm not going to use them in this video, but I want you to know that if you can't find what you're looking for with what you have here, simply reforge to a brand new one and then go ahead and do transmutation and augmentation and hope that you get a tablet that does have these modifiers. Another really good way to get even more maps is this icon right here. You see that purple icon with the hand? That is called a breach. And the breach you'll find in the map where you see this large purple hand sticking out of the ground. You're going to walk over and a breach will open and mobs will be spawned. Run and kill all the mobs in that breach, and there'll be maps dropping left and right. You'll have no idea what's going on. It's actually pretty crazy. I love the breaches, by the way, but that's another way to get maps. And if you look here, Crimson Shores, again, 31% increased waystones found in area. I'm telling you, the towers here are very important. Make sure that you get those tablets in these towers ASAP, and make sure that you get the tablets that say increased waystone quantity or anything that has to do with increased drop rate. If you're struggling with trying to get a higher tier item, you can also do what they call corrupting a map or a waystone by using something called a Vol Orb. And a Vol Orb looks just like this on screen, where it modifies an item unpredictably and corrupts it. An example of that is what I showed at the very beginning of this video. Is I turned a tier 15 map into this right here, into a tier 16 map by simply corrupting corrupting a tier 15, and it just so happened to RNG and upgrade to a tier 16, a tier higher. Now, there are instances where A, it won't do anything at all. It'll stay at tier 15, or B, it'll drop down to a tier 14. Big gambling system RNG, but just know that you can get a tier 16 with this method. Another tip here that I want to talk about is opening up your map device, right? And then go over to Show Atlas Passive Tree. How you get points for here is simply by doing the Atlas quest line, where you're going to do your tier 1s, tier 2s, 3s, 4s, all the way to 15. And every time you do that quest line, you're going to be granted 2 points to apply to this center part of the tree. One of the nodes that I want to point out here is this one right here called Constant Crossroads, where it says 20% increased quantity of Waystones found in your maps. This is just one example. All these other nodes too: increase rarity of items found. You want to increase your pack size, rare monsters in your maps. These all matter when it comes to drop rate. Here's another one: Lucky Pillage, 5% increased quantity of items found in your maps. A couple down here: Waystone quantity, 6% increased quantity of Waystones found in your maps. Here's another one that's 12%, and one right above it is another 6%. You have 18% more Waystones found in your maps. I hope this video helps, guys. Thanks for watching.